How do we open? I feel like the concept of our podcast is just, just two cousins who have been estranged for like 10 odd years,
15 years,
15 years. Holy,
maybe 20 years. I don't know.
yeah. And we're like, are we a year or like barely a year apart? Because I'm March, so your birthday's in,
November. Yeah, we're a year.
yeah, we were a year-ish apart, yeah.
Yeah, went through a lot together separately, and
Yeah, and we came out of the whole tunnel, two completely different MBTIs. So like, you're an ENFJ, I'm an ISTJ who wants to be an ISTP,
uh-huh. Yeah.
and we have like super dynamic and opposite like perspectives on things. And I was like ragging on you for your quote unquote radio name because you wanted to be called like Lily, right? And I was like,
Yeah.
is it a Harry Potter thing? But you say it's not.
No, it's not. It's not. It's just my energy. It's just my energy.
What is the energy of Lily, man? I think of like
Kind of like Lily of the Valley type of thing. She's just
Lily of the
carefree.
Valley.
She's just out in the on the edge of a cliff, watching the sea that rolls by and watching the waves throughout the afternoon, and sort of lies down and beneath the cypress trees and watches the birds, type of thing. That's Lily, and that's me.
So you mean like a nature goddess, like dryad thing? So if you were to do
Yeah.
like a Dungeons and Dragons campaign with me,
Oh,
I bet you'd be an elf.
yes, exactly. Because I like elves too. So, and we talked about this last time. I would be an elf for sure.
Are you
A
into D
high
and
elf.
D? A high elf.
Um, a high elf.
Damn.
I'm. I am aware of D&D, but I've not actually really played it. But I
Hmm.
I did know someone who did the whole role playing, and they really did the whole D&D and stuff.
Ooh.
That's Yep.
We could try to do that in one of our episodes. Character
Yeah, sure. Do you
creation.
actually do? Oh my God, yes, please. That'd be so cool.
I've done
That'd
it
be.
once. I've
Uh-huh.
done it once back in college with a group of jerks who I no longer associate with. Story for
Yes.
another day. But
Uh-huh.
but more or less, um, we played D&D together, and I think for a good 2 hours, all we did was walk. We walked. We encountered a cave. None of our arrows hit, so we walked some more.
Wait, did you guys have the costume and everything as well?
Nah. It was college. I mean, who had the money for that sort of thing, you know? It was college.
Fair, yeah. Well, fair. Because the person that I knew who did that does it even after college, so there's a little bit more budget there.
How are you, by the way? You told me like last night you had a farewell party for a bunch of people. Sorry to hear that.
Oh, yeah. God. Anyway, sorry. Sorry, my brain's like loopy right now.
It's chill. It's chill.
Eh. And I feel like there's this third party watching us just because I know we're recording.
You'll get used to it. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
And if it's
Fine.
like if it gets too awkward, we'll cut it at like 45 minutes. I was
No,
thinking an
no.
hour, but like 45 is good.
You know what's crazy? Did you realize that our last call lasted 3 hours and 30 minutes?
Yeah, we tend to do that, man. Like every time we gather at a family gathering, I can always almost expect every single time we will yap for around 5 hours tops.
Yeah, no, that's true though. That's true. It's the first time we did it through call though.
But it's because we don't have like, I don't know, man. I don't know your family, but my family definitely, we're not conversationalists. I was just with my mom this morning, right? We were doing this. It's embarrassing to say, like facial facial thing.
Why is that
Uh,
embarrassing? It's weird.
it's it's
Because
not
your mom
tough.
doesn't like you.
It's not tough. It's not tough.
Ah.
But anyway, anyway,
Ah.
anyway,
Okay.
we
Okay.
were having this facial thing, and then my mom and I were in one room, so we were chatting, and I was saying, it's great that I get a lot of practice talking with you and with the other cousins because I didn't have that growing up. So talking with you guys really helps me exercise my you know those
You're human.
yeah, my compassion, my humanity, because like when
Humanity.
growing up, um, we were always work oriented, so we didn't really share
I
each
know.
other's problems. Yeah, we didn't even share chores. Like my mom would be like, the kids are busy studying, someone else do the chores. And
Oh.
as long as, and then the output there is that we always got good marks, but we were that level of non interactive, so I didn't really learn how to be social growing up, and that
Yeah,
really
I
hurt
understand.
my skills at work. Like I would freak out and melt down in so many meetings. I was so pissed off that people weren't doing
Oh.
right. But
Oh.
interacting with you guys helps me like practice being more human. That it's not always
Hmm.
about the whole like logistics and facts and numbers behind things. There's also a whole family component. And I say a lot. I recognize that because whenever it's like my tell. When you hear me saying no or or whatever a
You
lot of
know.
things that I feel so fucking awkward about what I'm saying right now. So fucking
Okay, that's
awkward.
cute.
It's gross.
No,
Yuck.
no,
Ew.
no. It's
Ew.
fine. It's fine. It's fine. You're great. You're great. You're doing great.
But the reason why I share that is because like we yap a lot in family gatherings. And last time we talked, I said like I really have to allocate energy for this because yeah, I'm not used to it. It's not a thing I used to do growing up.
I
And
know.
yeah, and with you guys, I practice a lot. So yap, yap, and yap. Here we
I
are.
know. I understand you. And here I am. I'm just like, when can I see you? I want to see you in the flesh.
Bro,
I'm going there.
my energy reserves is like it's like the physical aspect of my energy is so limited, but like the mental aspect, which is what we're doing right now by being in a call, it's like more, I would say less
It has a
res-
bigger capacity.
you're right, you're right, you're right, you're right. My body is wasting away. I'd rather you not see it
It
in real life.
that is not real. That is not true. That is not true. Okay, I feel like you just need to nah, whatever it is, I respect it, and
Thanks,
I
thanks.
I I I understand, and hence we're in a call, even though I want to see you.
You can see me. We're on video camera.
No, it's different when I get to like hug you.
Aw, that's so nice. But
But yeah.
speaking of missing people, your friends,
Uh-huh.
what's up? What happened?
Oh yeah. Well, okay. So, there's a lot of things that's been happening at work.
Mm,
Like in the span of what, 2 weeks. Apparently a lot of people are leaving. Like 6 or 7 people are leaving from the team.
forced to leave, or they initiated their leaving?
Nah, they're not forced to leave. They're yeah, I guess just, the usual. I can already sort of feel what you're gonna say with this,
What?
but no,
What?
no, no, no. No, 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 because they're leaving because of better opportunities.
That's good.
Um I know you're gonna say that, and I do agree. I
Yeah.
do agree it's good. And it is good. It really is good. And for some reason, it also coincides with what I've been feeling the past few times, which is I feel like I'm not for corporate, you
Mm.
know. And for some reason, it's like holy. I've been feeling this, and all of a sudden, people are leaving left and right. So is this like a sign for me to just, you know, move as well?
But you
I've
only
been thinking
got
about it.
you only got into your new job recently, right?
Um, yeah, I'll be 1 year in like a month.
Hmm.
So yeah. Yeah, it's not like I'm doing it in haste. It's just I'm sort of planning things.
If you don't mind me asking, like, what was
Go ahead,
their
ask
reason?
anything.
What was their reason for leaving? I mean, I know opportunities, but like, do they like working for someone else? Doing the same thing but just a different brand?
Well, the thing is, I guess to provide context, yes, I know I'm in corporate, but it's a different taste or flavor of corporate because I am in sustainability. So it doesn't necessarily feel like you're working for someone
What?
per se.
We get a paycheck, right? What?
Yes, we're getting a paycheck. but it's more of like, anyway, sorry, my brain's bogged down, but
Like you're
okay.
doing something good for someone. Is that the vibe?
Yeah, something like that.
Like you're not
I don't.
a blind capitalist thing. You're also a good person.
See, I didn't want to frame it that way because I didn't want to sound like I'm in a high horse or a self-righteous prick.
Nah, it's fine. It's
But
fine. Everyone in
but
corporate knows we're jerks. We just don't like saying it out loud, but we know we are. We take pride
okay,
in it.
I'll I'll tie that to another aspect later on in this whole conversation. But basically, just to answer your question, what was the reason? Yeah, better opportunities, bigger pay, 6 digits type of thing.
Yeah,
So go for it.
I respect it.
Like
Mercenaries.
me, like sorry, am I okay?
It's
Am I okay with
fine.
cursing?
I'll edit
Sorry,
everything in post.
just
Just
edit.
relax. Relax.
Sorry.
We have the
But
power of
it's like
editing.
yeah, no, for real. If that were the case for me, I'd do the same thing. Really, 6 digits, yeah, sure, why not? I'd still be in sustainability though. But yeah, someone left for like a US opportunity.
Ooh. Right
They're not
now?
going to the States, but they're doing a fully remote work earning
Yeah,
USD.
because
So,
I was like, they're gonna immigrate
but
right now with Donald Trump being the way he is.
oh, hell no. It's a shit
Yeah,
fest in there.
they might get in trouble.
Nah, they're not moving. They're just, they're still here. It's just that they're earning USD,
Yeah, fair enough.
which
Yeah.
is pretty big.
Hmm.
And the next one is he was just, I don't even know if he stayed for 6 months in the company, but um he's moving because he finally got the opportunity of the kind of work that he wanted, which is very heavy on data science. So the moment that
Nerd.
it presented itself,
Nerd.
he's like, okay, let me go after it. So that's one. So he
Mm-hmm.
went through that. And then the third one, he never had the intention to leave,
Hmm.
but it's just that he was presented the opportunity and then he was told, yeah, we'll give you 6 digits. So, holy shit,
I
right?
respect that. Mercenaries. Let's go. Mercenaries. Freelancers. I think. Sorry, because before we hopped on a call, this kind of like diverged the topic a little bit.
Go
But
ahead.
I saw this Instagram account that
Mhm.
was basically just a slice of bread helping people decide on something. So, for example, this guy would like be slicing a piece of bread, and then the bread is so stiff. I don't know what kind of bread it was, but it's so stiff that for a few seconds it'll stand up straight, and then on the screen he'll show like an overlay of yes and no, and the viewers will just wait. So there's gonna be a question, right? Like, is my sister pregnant? And it's gonna be like a yes and a no, and the bread will just stand there and slowly go to yes, slowly go to no. And somehow this guy has like thousands of followers, just like literally him slicing bread.
That is the craziest thing I've heard. What the heck?
Incredible, incredible. We should
You
do
know,
something
it
like that
that
with my dice, right? Because I roll dice all the time.
oh my god, that makes sense. It reminds me, it gives me the same energy of this one YouTuber as well. Like he like waters rocks. I know it sounds like
I know that. I know that guy. I know that. I watch him. I watch
yeah,
him.
like it sounds like absolute bullshit when I say it that way, but that's literally what he does.
Dude,
And it
you know what?
garners so much views and I'm like, holy hell.
You know,
Wha-
I was so curious about that, and I think at some point, I don't know, man. At some point, I also went nuts because I was thinking maybe he really is doing something, you know. So I took a screenshot of him like watering the rock, and I messaged one of my friends who was a geologist or is a geologist, and I asked her, hey, what's he doing? Is he doing something? And she was like, no, bro, he's doing
Nothing.
yeah, he's
He's doing
doing nothing. He's
doing jack.
yeah, Jack. And I was like, huh, okay, I really thought he was doing something because, watering the rocks, kind of, I could do that. Did I tell you, you were here in my condo, right?
Mm-hmm.
when the folks here installed the plants.
Oh yeah, I yes, literally, I was there. I think I was sick,
Yeah,
even.
no, you were just that was your first sleepover in my
Oh
place.
hi 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 hi. Yeah. Okay.
My my plants are dead. So I was thinking, if I can't have living plants, maybe I can have rocks, and maybe I can do something by watering these rocks. That's something I can do.
You know what? I respect that. I absolutely respect that. I feel like that says some, self awareness.
I don't know, man. I can't take care of plants. I can't get along with animals. But
I feel like no, 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 no. You're not giving yourself enough credit. I think you can take care of plants real well.
eh,
It's just that you're preoccupied with a lot of your projects. And what do you mean? You're good with
because I was
animals.
thinking, the plants would survive. They've been here for years and years on the planet
Mm-hmm.
Earth. So if I
Mm-hmm.
don't water them for, a week, maybe a couple of months, they'll find a
Mm-hmm.
way to come back. Life always finds a way. That's what I think.
Um, See, that's why they didn't survive. It's not necessarily because of you, but
Well,
because you had a specific belief.
the air is
So,
humid, and the river's right there, so maybe
honey, they
some sort
need
of
help.
evaporation.
No,
maybe,
no,
maybe the
no,
water
Mons.
molecules will like travel
No,
across the
that's
air and just
not how
water
it
them.
goes. Okay, okay, that's why they died. There you go. So now we know that's not how it works, and now you can water them and they'll be back to life. There you go.
But like I'm gonna awkwardly tie this with our like corporate conversation because like I think this is why ISTP versus ENFJ sort of thing. You would do so well taking care of life and nature, and
Mm-hmm,
if you
mm-hmm,
feel like you're not fit for corporate, that's completely valid because I think you're configured to be like Mother Earth and as we see
mm-hmm.
the data points that I have
Yes, oh
prove that
yeah.
I am not. I am not suited for that life. I'm meant for for
What, the
fucking
gray
cold.
walls?
Yeah, I'm meant for walls. I'm meant for like gray
The
corporate.
fluorescent lights and shit?
Yeah,
The
bet
hospital grade
type
hospital grade lights.
type. I mean that's it. On that's how I'm configured.
Oh my god.
When I was
I respect that.
when I was in high school, right? I don't know if they did this to you as well in your school. But
Yeah.
when I was in high school, my friends, my acquaintances,
I'm dead. I'm dead. Friends, acquaintances,
my
yes.
classmates, they were nuts. They
Your
were mental.
colleagues,
My colleagues, my school colleagues,
your school colleagues.
they were mental. They made like fan fiction about us, like real people. And when they made fan fiction, it was always like, what are we gonna be like in the future? And almost all the time in the stories, I would be
Oh my
this
god.
long haired, suited up, like long silver haired suited up mother in like a multi-story building, and I'm like looking out the window, peering down at the humans, and being like, pitiful. I'd have like this long name, like
Oh
I think it
my.
was like God, I forget the name. It was like 5 syllables long. Not even that. It was 5 syllables long. Like blah 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 blah.
Oh
Like
my
like
god.
super long name, and I'd have like glasses that would glint whenever I do that.
Oh my god.
So I was like ever since I guess like even before high school, those fanfics came up in grade school. They would like
Grade school.
yeah, fanfiction.net started in 2000, the 2000s, early 2000s,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I was there. I was in it.
right? So basically, like those started back then, and I guess it ingrained itself into my DNA. Versus you and your name Lily, right? Lily, when did you come up with that? Was it like
Wait, that is so fun. Okay,
you
okay.
see you
That
see how the
that
dots connect? The data points are
I
real.
see it. I see it. Like if we were to like juxtapose it, you're like the the 5 syllable one, and then there I am, Lily.
ENFJ, ISTP, both
But,
born from the same DNA. Anyway,
oh my god. Yeah, Lily started in high school as well. I don't know how it came to be or how it was born, but
who came up with it? Like, well, you don't
it was
know,
just me.
remember? Oh, okay.
Okay, look. Okay, if there's a, it sounds silly. It sounds silly.
Sounds
I
silly,
okay.
Lily.
No, it's basically I name objects back then. I named yes, I personified them,
Ooh.
and it sounds silly, right? So
No,
I
it
named
doesn't.
objects. Yeah,
Bruh, I named my car
and
like Purgatorio. Anyway,
your car.
that,
Okay, see that is so on brand. Your name is Purgatorio. Mine is Stella.
wow.
Mine is Stella by Starlight. That's the full name.
Wow. Mine's like dead. Just Dante's
A
Purgatorio,
coffin.
man.
I'm kidding. Dante Inferno. Yeah, it's like Dante Inferno, some shit.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there I am, like Stella by
So you
Starlight,
got the
right?
Lily thing because you named some objects Lily, or you named.
Yeah, I named an object Lily, and then I said, I like I like this. I like this. I'm
Hmm.
feeling the energy.
And I think it
Uh,
somehow loops into, like, it does loop into your energy because you're in sustainability. You want to be like into environment type. So, so yeah, I think somehow maybe the Arcana was
mm-hmm.
so. Because like the Limpe Hook genes, our common ancestor, I still believe that somehow something there,
Mm-hmm.
something there was
Mm-hmm.
magical as. But that's for another podcast. That's for another
Limpe
podcast.
Hyuk, and God bless the ancestor, but
Really, God
Limpe
bless.
Hyuk was I don't
Didn't he
know,
curse us?
God.
Anyway, yeah.
Okay, I don't know. Okay, but isn't he like so far off now? Like, I don't know how many generations far,
He's
like in terms
grandma's dad, I think.
grandma's dad
Yeah,
or grandma's dad's dad?
grandma's dad.
Grandma's dad
Because the story, remember,
or
was that
grandma's grandfather?
grandma's dad, I think.
Cause yeah, no, you're right, you're right.
Because like the story, remember, was that he couldn't sire uh, any child with his first wife in the mainland. So he went off, off to the Philippines where he found a nice womb to implant. And now here we are.
Okay, see, this is exactly how she does her storytelling, right? It's just
Sorry, but anyway, going back. So
to
like,
put the seed in the womb type of.
oh, speaking of seeds, you're gonna plant seeds in Mother Earth because you're Lily.
Yes.
It all ties up together, All ties up together. All ties up together.
Okay, what were we talking about? Why were we talking about Lily? Yes.
I think we were like
Okay.
tying up, your non-corporate career with nature, and somehow we like mapped it in such a way that somehow some spirit spoke to you.
Everything ties together.
Yeah, some spirit spoke to you and whispered, Lily. So I'll segue to the story about this other ENFJ that I knew, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
so remember my story from earlier that I said that there were some freaks back in school who wrote fan fiction about not freaks. I also wrote fan fiction, but not about real people.
Yeah,
Not about real
exactly.
people I knew, but anyway,
Mm-hmm.
I was a child. But anyway,
Mm-hmm.
there
Mm.
were these like friends or colleagues back in school who um who would write fanfic and stuff about us, right? And then some of those kids were actually, pretty. I was pretty close with, and pretty close in the sense that we shared similar interests. They were freaks and I was a freak, so we got freaky together. Oh no, I can't say that. Oh no.
God.
Um,
I mean, if you did.
Yikes! Ew. Gross.
Okay. Okay.
But we were
All
both
right.
like we were both in that space. But
Not freaky.
the thing was, I was like an Uber ISTP, like mean, bad, evil mother.
Cold.
I was really a super evil motherfucker. I would like choke out kids in school. Like I would, whenever I got pissed off, because I was also into Naruto, bro. And there was this episode where Itachi like suffocates Sasuke against
Yeah.
the wall. I
Against the
learned that.
wall.
I learned that. I absorbed that. I got inspired by it. I took it. I applied it. So whenever I got pissed off at the kid, I would like pin them against the wall by their neck. And then
Yeah. Fair. No, that's fair. That's absolutely fair.
and this kid here, this ENFJ, she pissed me off so much because she'd be like super in my face about everything. She'd be like
Hmm.
super positive about friendship and all that. Like, who's the most annoying character in anime that is always about like butterflies and whatever,
And
flowers
rainbows and
and
shit.
rainbows, yeah, and like friendship and all that.
Okay, that's annoying. That's fucking annoying. Is
Super
that an
annoying.
ENFJ? That's fucking annoying. That sounds like an ESFJ.
You might be right. I might be an asshole. Let me see. ESFJ.
That sounds annoying as. Even I'm not like that. I'm not even rainbows and
Wait, I
butterflies and shit.
archived my chat with her, so I actually don't know. Let
But
me see.
anyway, okay, well, with
But
her,
I
all right.
remember like looking at our MBTIs and I was like, oh, that's why we don't get along together because we're like polar opposites. But like, okay, so what happened was, she was like rainbows and butterflies and all that. When I was a kid, right? I didn't know any better. I was stupid. I also I suffered for my sins. I suffered for my sins. And at the end, at like way down the line as we grew up, of course I matured. We became like, really good friends and all that. But there was this thing that was still always a little off about her. Like I didn't I was
Pinpoint?
thinking, yeah, I was thinking maybe it was me because I'm an asshole, so maybe I just didn't know what how to not be an asshole. So like, all these stuff. But we were friends. We were friends. I would say we were friends. And the word is important here, the past tense. Because fast forward to
Ah.
like 2022 or 2021, she asks, people to attend her, like, she invites people for her birthday. And I was like, it's been a while since I last saw this person. We do catch up from time to time online, but not a lot. So let me actually show up and show up with a gift. And I'll pay for my own thing. And I know at the time she was going through a lot of like a lot of internal. And I was like, I wanna let me show up because I want to be that friend who shows up.
Oh, that's nice.
And I did. I was the only one who showed up. Damn. I was the only one who showed up, and then of course, like around like 30 minutes before the whole like birthday lunch ends, another girl shows up. But I was the only one who showed up for like from the get go. I didn't even just show up. I offered to pick her up from her home, and drive her to the
Jesus.
lunch too.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, I was like a knight. I was like a chivalrous as because I was like, we
Chivalrous.
shared we shared our childhood. I choked you out. Let me pay for my sins in this way.
Aw.
And then and then during dessert, like I say, like she talks to me, right, about like all these different like career advice and all that. People ask me about career advice all the time, and of course I dish out as much as I can, as much as I'm willing to give, given the circumstances. And then like
Mm-hmm.
and then I joke, I say like this really like joke. I forget how I said it, but I said like, so there you go. That's all advice for free. It's free business
Oh my
advice. And I was like
god.
teasing her about it, and she was like, she said something like her face and all that, like snide comment and all, because like during that whole lunch we were reminiscing about our childhood and all. And,
Mm-hmm.
and then like when I said it's free business advice and all that, and
Yeah.
she replies to me in like such a deadpan voice, like her face and all that. She was like, uh,
Huh?
consider it as payment for our childhood, or like consider our childhood as your payment. I forget, like
It's
it.
like consider that as like your recompense of what the you did to me before. Yeah, what, something
Yeah,
like that.
and I'm like I'm like bitch. So basically you're saying that you're still hung up about what I did as a single digit child. Well, we're both 30 years old, man. At the time we were 29. We're both 29 years old, man. Get over yourself. And I thought to myself, because I thought to myself, I'm a busy businessman. I have so many things to do, certifications to get, and this whole engagement that I have. No wonder no one came to her birthday party. This whole thing is a time
Oh,
sink. I earn nothing from this conversation. So I was like, "Oh, sorry, I gotta go. Would you be alright getting your own ride home? Sorry about that. Bye." And I left.
God.
Of course,
Holy
I said it. I said it
God.
like after she said that, I laughed a bit. After she said what she said, I laughed a bit, and then I acted as if I got an urgent call, and I was like, "Oh, sorry, gotta go. Bye." And then I proceeded to block her from all of my socials because I'm done. I'm done. That 1 hour we were talking, I could have used for day trading. I could have used that for projecting my next stocks to purchase.
I am I am living for that.
Yeah.
I am living
Yeah.
for that interaction.
But I think it wasn't just because of her MBTI. There was something else off about her. Because, like, if I'm having such a great conversation with you and, we're, I don't know, something else. It must have been something else.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like, it's, well, people are multidimensional, and MBTI is just one factor, one facet of their human profile.
Yeah.
Profile.
Yeah.
Okay. I just love your commentary for real. It's like, what the first of all.
I f***ed
First
off.
of all,
I hightailed it out of there.
it's like I could have used this 1 hour for day trading.
It wasn't even 1 hour, bro. It was like 2 hours, I think, or 2.5. But anyway, it was a bunch of time, a huge time
You,
sink.
you know, it's like you're a really nice person. I'd say.
Ooh, yikes. Ooh.
Like,
Gross. I'm categorically evil.
but not you like writhing. Not you. Oh my god, I'm dying. Oh god.
Oh.
No, but
I know
I feel
Enochian
like
as well. So I'm categorically evil.
okay, I don't want to ask what that is, but I'm just saying I feel like that was such a nice thing. That was a kind thing, not even just nice. It was a kind thing for you to do. And I know, okay, just to be very clear, I know you did that not because I'm such a kind person. Like you're nice. You're a kind person. And that's why you picked her up and you did all of that for her. And then the moment she said that comment, I feel like hit the fan. Are you short circuiting
I was
with me?
heaving.
Are you short circuiting again? Look, I'm just saying
I know. I get what you're
that
saying. It was kind of like, looking back, it feels like a really, really shallow thing to have gotten irritated about. But I think the backstory there is that, a bunch of my other friends were also like telling me, it's really not worth it. Why are you even doing this? And I was like, because I was asking them, are you coming? Are you coming? And they were like, no. I said, why are you even doing this? And I was like, well, we have a history.
okay, she sounds like a straight up
Might
ESFJ,
be, yeah,
but
yeah. You might be right. I
I
think she might be an
digress.
ES. Might be an ES.
Because growing up, I've never been like that. I'll give you that much. But
It's funny because it's you saying that there's a person who might be an ENFJ, but they're not like me, so I don't think I want to be that. And rest day, right? I was like, I might be an INTJ, but I don't want to associate myself with that because I know someone who I don't like, who I disagree
but
with.
I
Not I don't like, but yeah.
yeah. Yeah, but I'm not dissociating from being an ENFJ. I feel like she's not an ENFJ.
Fair enough. Fair enough. See, the approach is opposite. It works out, right?
Opposite again.
Whoa!
It's opposite again. God damn.
I'm glad we're cousins, man. Because like otherwise, like Otherwise, our history is
we're
through them.
still gonna we're still gonna meet each other, I'd say.
And I'm glad that I'm glad that well, might not, who knows, but like, I'm glad that even if we were estranged for like a decade and a
More than a
half,
decade.
yeah, at least you weren't
Yeah.
around for my choking out era.
For your Sasuke Itachi.
Yeah, it was not a good thing. Like I am still like ashamed of that. Not really ashamed, but I'm still that part of me when I was a kid that was like really into like hurting people.
Violence.
Yeah, violence. Yeah, I am not so proud of that kid. I think it came from a whole thing about me not being able to express myself, me not knowing or learning from people how to express myself properly. So like the only ways I knew how to communicate was either through extreme force or through what I learned from anime. The anime.
Well,
You
yeah,
know, like how much I learned from anime, bro. Like there was a time when I was so obsessed. I learned the hand signs, man. I learned like
yo, that's sick. That's cool. That's cool. Honestly, the hand signs are pretty sick. I appreciate the hand signs. I appreciate the hand signs.
I
Don't
was
get me
so
wrong. I
bad.
really do. It was pretty cool. But yeah, give yourself some grace to to that person that to the kid that you were once. I think it's great that you feel some sort of you feel averse towards it now because it means you've grown and you've changed.
It means that it won't help my career if I'm like that.
Oh god. She's actually really nice. She's actually really nice. She just doesn't want to admit it.
Categorical
But then
evil.
she just pivots it back to profit, but she's actually really nice.
Yikes.
Anyway. But anyway, no, but yeah, for real though, it's for you to have that
It's amazing,
reflection.
what work is in general. It's like work is. I feel like work is an avenue to grow ourselves and to know more about ourselves and society around us. And I think the fact that work helped you know or helped you learn that you're meant for other things and not just this. I think
Yeah,
that's a
exactly.
massive unlock. I hope
Did you
you like. Yeah, go ahead. What?
go ahead.
I was about to like loop back to the start of the conversation. I was just about to say that I hope that your friends find what they're looking for. I hope you too. You do too.
Oh, thank
But honestly, this was a really good conversation. Like it was entertaining as. I only wish that
you.
I was
Yeah.
able to like do other stuff. Well, it's kind of like a podcast that I can interact with. That's called a conversation, right? Well, because usually when I listen to podcasts, usually I like go around, do work on.
I did go work.
I could actually.
Then go work. Yeah. You know what? I know you so much to the point that I could already tell at which timestamp you were itching to work. I was like, this girl's itching to work.
You
So go
knew.
work. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, like,
No, go
bro,
ahead.
I have a like to-do list right here on an Excel sheet.
Well, thank you. And I learn a lot from you too. And I always enjoy talking to you. And I appreciate you.
Hey, you want to learn some Enochian?
I don't know what that is, and I don't think I want to know. If it's occult, if it's the occult, I was like going all like praising you and giving you all these nice words, and then she goes freaking occult on me. Like, always, like this is their way of diverting. Like,
Categorically evil.
no, you're not. No, you're not. It's just you like short circuiting again.
We'll talk about this the other because I see on our podcast list you put here like on vulnerability and I'm like
Exactly.
ah
And exactly. And that whole episode on vulnerability, you're just gonna do either an occult or you're gonna keep heaving. You're gonna do you're just gonna keep saying that, or you're just gonna keep changing the subject while I'm saying really, really lovey-dovey things.
You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. Like
So that you're not gonna survive it, but you will. You know,
screaming.
you will survive it.
And
You will survive it. God,
in preparation for that
that
conversation, I'm gonna learn like 10 incantations.
like God. Even when I said, "Oh, Mil, I miss you," and then you pivoted, and then but you say something equally sweet. You just don't. Yeah. Okay. Anyway,
Thank you again for the
I.
chat. I loved it.
Yeah, me
Now
too.
it's time
Thank
for
you
me
again.
to
And
like pivot. But sorry, yeah, you were saying.
no, no, no. You should. You should go do what you have to do. Go do your work.
Thank you for being a nice ENFJ and understanding my ISTP mannerisms and IST mannerisms.
ISTJ. No, no, it's fine. It's like I already understand you even before
I
it
appreciate it.
happens.
I appreciate it. You gotta teach me that sometime. We should put in our podcast list. I don't know if it's called
What?
empathy or compassion or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I know the exact timestamp when you were itching to work. Okay, I know it. I
What
know it.
was it?
I
What
see
was it?
you.
What was it? Oh my god.
I
Was
don't
it?
know the
But
exact like the
no,
time,
because
but
I'm
for
super
sake,
excited. I'm super excited. I want to know like what was my tell. Oh,
I don't know. I just the thing is, I just see you. All right, I just see you. I
damn,
know
some
your
telepathic
I know
type.
your manner.
This
I
is
know your
this is true.
mannerisms.
You tell me I'm into the occult, but you have some telepathic type going on.
And little do you know. I'm
Oh my
kidding.
god. Thank you then. It is.
All
Oh,
right.
it is almost 11. Thank you for the
All
lovely
right.
chat. I will see you again. Thank
I'll see you
you.
again.
Good
Thank you
night.
so much. And I appreciate the time. And I hope you get to rest through the
Likewise, you
weekend.
too. You too. I'll see you.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Thank you too.